Hey everyone, and welcome to our May cookie tutorial. My name is Ashley, and I will be guiding you through how to decorate your cookies today. But first, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting Hearty Coffee. Your business means the world to us right now, especially during these crazy times. We hope this activity is fun and brings a smile to your face. That being said, let's get started. The first thing we're going to do is set out all of the materials and prep our icings. It's normal for the color to separate from the icing, so we need to work the color back in by massaging the bags. Once you've done this with each icing, go through and cut a very tiny amount off the tips of the bags. A few millimeters is all you need. Start smaller, and if your line is too thin, go back and cut a couple more millimeters off. The goal is for the icing to flow out easily in a thin line with minimal pressure. To start, we're going to outline each of the cookies first. So as you can see, you have two bags with different consistencies labeled on them. For the outlining, you're going to use the thick one, and then for the filling in, you'll use the thin. So go ahead and outline each of the cookie shapes, and you can follow along to see which colors I'm using on which cookies. Another thing to note is when you are outlining the cookie, to use minimal pressure. You're kind of just letting your hand guide the icing out. And then when you're going back in to fill in, you'll use a lot more pressure. So now that we've done the outline of each cookie shape, we can go back in with our thin icing consistency and fill in. When you're filling in, the term for that is called flooding. So we're gonna flood our cookies. And once you've filled in most of your cookie, there may still be some gaps. So you'll take one of your toothpicks and just kind of swirl it around to fill in those edges and gaps. And sometimes I'll also kind of shake or tap my cookie on the table just to smooth out that icing and make the layer really even. We'll keep flooding each cookie and then set them aside to dry. It's important that we let it dry until it's at least been 10 to 15 minutes. You want the cookie to have a little bit of a matte finish before we go back and add more details. Otherwise, the new details that you add will just sink in. So you want them to set on top of the cookie so it stands out. Once your cookies have had some time to set up, we can go back and start adding on the other details. So for the cactus, we're gonna just draw little lines on the cactus and on the pot. When you're doing the lines on the cactus, you're gonna wanna sprinkle your white sprinkles on there pretty quickly so that it doesn't dry, and since it is a thicker consistency, it will dry faster. So I do a few lines at a time and then sprinkle them on there and then keep doing that until it's covered. For this leaf, I'm just going to emphasize the lines and pipe the line down the middle of the leaf and then around the little holes on the sides of the leaf. This second style of leaf is a little bit trickier because you just kind of have to use your imagination on where the leaves go. But I just draw the line down the center and then I'm going to pipe leaves out to the edges. You just kind of have to create them into the stem. And then you can fill them in or just leave them as a line, whichever you prefer. For the rectangle shaped cookies, I like to just use them as a blank canvas to pipe on whatever type of flower or leaf that comes to mind. You can follow along and do what I'm doing, or you can do your own, or you can do something totally different. It's up to you. I usually just try to do a simple flower or leaf. And that completes this tutorial. I hope you had fun and maybe learned something new in the process. Also, just so you know, for the entire 2021 year, we will be doing monthly cookie kits. So if you want to do this again or have a friend you know who might enjoy this, send them to our website at hardycoffee.com. These kits are also shippable, so let your out-of-town friends know too. Lastly, we'd love to see your artistry, so snap a couple pics and tag us on Instagram. Thanks again for your support. We hope you have a great week.